Well, g'day, and welcome back again to Jiaoqing. And today you find us, we're actually in our school playground. I'm not going very far away today. I'm actually off to visit a kindergarten shortly. Going to play some songs and help them out with a couple of English words. So that'll be fun. So we're not going very far, but I did want to respond to a comment that we got in our last video. The last video has done really well. I'm very happy. Lots of comments, lots of positive comments. People sort of, being very agreeable with the things that I said about a certain couple of people. But actually we picked up a lot of new subscribers too. So for those new subscribers who came on board, welcome. It's good to have you on board, and I hope you enjoy me showing you around some of the life here in China. But we got this comment. This is from Violet888, who said, "Just found your channel. Thank you for this video. I've been deprogramming my brain from mass media, and it is challenging to find those like you. Could you please provide a list of English speaking, I'll try and get the words out right, English speaking bloggers living in China, or do a video about them so I can make a list and refer people to you? Despicable. Daniel Dumbrell did a video 3 years ago titled Exposed, the disgusting crime Lawei86 committed to grow his channel. Worse than Logan Paul." Well, I don't know who Logan Paul is, but yeah, he's a pretty disgusting character. But we're going to talk about the other bit that he, please provide a list of English speaking vloggers. So we're going to do that. We did this about a year ago, which is how I actually met the other YouTuber here in Jiaoqing, Mr. Tony. I made this list about a year ago, and Tony must have seen it and commented something along the lines of, I'm very upset that you didn't mention me or something. And he, I think from memory at the time, had just moved back to Jiaoqing. So he wasn't actually in Jiaoqing beforehand, but yeah, we met up and we've done a few videos since then and stuff. But the providing a list of videos. So we're going to do a list of creators. We're going to do that because yeah, it's a good time to update that list. We have come across some new people since. So I've basically brought up the people I subscribe to. I'm just going to go through them as they appear. There's no specific order. Some of these people you're going to enjoy, some of them you might not. You know, everybody has personal preferences. This is by no means a complete list of bloggers here in China. I have the people I follow. I have come across others. Some of them I just don't like. Not to say that there's anything wrong with their channels. They're just not my style. They're just not my cup of tea, the way they present things and stuff. So yeah, don't take this list as the best bloggers or anything like that. They're just the ones I get on with. I enjoy their style, their content. Some of you might enjoy them, some of you might not enjoy them. You know, everybody has their own tastes and what they enjoy. So, and there will be lots that I haven't discovered yet. You know, there are plenty who I haven't yet come across. You know, I have no doubt I haven't seen everybody. So just before we get into my list, if you have others that aren't mentioned here, chuck them down in the comments section. Let other people, you know, share the people that you enjoy, because you know, good creators deserve some publicity. Whether they're, even if you find people who maybe aren't quite your style, but you think other people might enjoy them, chuck them down in the comment section. Help out those of us who are trying our best. So we're going to go through these. I'll give you a quick little rundown of each one and what they do, and if I know where they're from and stuff like that. We'll see how we go. So first one on here is actually the video that we were talking about. The creator there, 86 Lawei, not to be confused with Lawei86. They are two different people. Somebody actually made the comment in the video and thought I was talking about the latter. I don't know if they didn't realize that they were two different people, but yeah, 86 Larway. He does a lot of content about the two guys I was talking about and debunking their stuff. Mostly from what I've seen. So if you don't know the two guys, if you haven't seen the two guys he talks about, it may not be your cup of tea, but I still think it's worth it because he does show what people in general, not only these two, but other anti-China YouTubers and anti-China mass media are saying about China. And he does a good job of debunking the stuff that is being said about China. So yeah, he's great. He actually came over to Jiaoqing a few weeks back. We met up. We never made a video together. We should have done that, but I'm going to try and get over to Shenzhen and visit him sometime soon, and hopefully we can get together and do a video and talk about some of these issues. So 86 Larway, and these will all be linked. I'll link all their channels down in the description of the video as well, so you can easily go and find them. Next up we have Daniel Dumbrell, who I think is Canadian, I can't remember. No, don't quote me on that. But I love his content. He does a lot of debunking all sorts of stuff about China. And he's very calm and collected, very well researched, all the stuff that he does. He does a really good job. I really, really like his content. He did go a bit quiet for a little while, but he seems to be getting back into it again now, which is really good. Next down the list, we have Jerry's take on China. Jerry, English, then emigrated to Australia, so sort of English Australian, lives down in Zhongshan, and again does a lot of debunking stuff, but probably not as much as the others. He focuses more on life in China, the rules, the regulations, the how people live here. He does quite a bit looking into the poverty alleviation stuff. He's ridden around China, ridden through a lot of China on a push bike. He's actually starting another ride soon, heading up to, where was he going? Inner Mongolia. He's going to ride, from the south of China right up to the north. So looking forward to following that. I actually want to get down to Zhongshan, which isn't far from here, and catch up with Jerry and meet him and sit down and have a chat. But we'll leave that till after his bike ride is over and done with. But yeah, he does really good stuff, really well researched, links to everything he talks about, so everything's backed up with proper information. Does a great job. Next down the list, Mr. Tony. I'm not going to leave you off of this list this time. So Mr. Tony, Englishman, a little bit older than me, sort of one generation away from me maybe. As I say, he's been in China a long time, living in Jiaoqing now, so we've got two of us making YouTube videos here in Jiaoqing. We do very similar type of stuff, I think. But being, from different countries, being from a slightly different generation, you might get little differences between him and myself. He tends to make shorter videos than me. Most people make shorter videos than me. I tend to just let my videos ramble on. When I first came to China, I watched a bit of China content, and the comments that used to always come in was, you'd see a cut from one shot to the next shot, and people would say, oh, you're just editing out all the bad stuff. So I thought, bugger it, I'm just going to film everything and leave everything in, and you can watch the whole bloody lot. But yeah, Mr. Tony, very similar to me. If you want to sort of see day-to-day life and stuff like that, all sorts of things, he's great. He does a good job. And we get out and make videos together from time to time. We help each other out. If there's an event coming up, we let each other know so that we can both get content out of stuff. Yeah, Tony's been a great help since I arrived. He's helped me out with a bit of video stuff. I've helped him out with a bit of stuff and ideas and educating each other of things that we each know. So no, it's been a really, really good good thing meeting Tony. Next down the list we have reports on China. Andy from New Zealand, lives in Shanghai, works for a Chinese media company, I believe. I can't remember who he works for. It might be China Daily, I'm not sure. But his channel mainly focuses on mainstream media and the things we see in mainstream media, and debunking some of the, well, a lot of the stuff that mainstream media does. Again, well researched, good presentation, very professional actually. He does a really, really good job. So yeah, he's great. Viewpoint Abroad. This guy, not sure, pretty sure from, yeah, he's American, I'm sure. Don't actually know what his name is. I haven't met the guy. I really like his stuff. I like it more and more each time I watch it. He's very raw, nothing scripted. There's not really much professional about what he does, but that's one of my attractions to him. That's one of the things, you know, very similar to me. He doesn't work off a script, he just talks. And I appreciate that. A lot of the stuff that's really sort of professional looking, I don't really enjoy it that much. I like the more raw stuff. So yeah, if you're into that sort of stuff, and very opinion based as well, he doesn't sort of, I haven't seen him doing a lot of fact checking of stuff, and he just talks about day-to-day life, the things that goes on in his life, which I enjoy. Right, who we got next? The Journey of Jake. Jake, I came across his channel when he first came to China. He's been here maybe 9 months, maybe 12 months, I'm not entirely sure. Here's another Australian. I think he used to do vlogging around Australia, traveling around Australia in a little car, from what I remember him saying when I first saw his video. He lives over in Xiamen, which is the sort of next province over. Xiamen's the big city there. Been studying Chinese, I think, from memory. He will have videos in the next little while coming up from America. He's actually heading to America for family visits and stuff. But then he'll be back in China doing stuff in China, and I like his stuff. He does a really, really good job. So check him out. Next one, Nuance. Nuance, I've only just discovered this, don't know much about it. Seems like it's a lot of political stuff. This is Matt from the Gaoyou channel, which we'll get to a little bit later. Next one, we have Little Chinese Everywhere. This is a Chinese girl, rides around China on a motorbike and does basically travel videos on where the places she goes. And she does very, very well. Yeah, I really, really like her stuff. She goes to some really nice places, gets some great shots, and well worth following up on. Next one, Fernando Munoz Bernal. He is Colombian, I believe, from memory. Does a heap of different type of content, covers a heap of different subjects, talks about, you know, it might be politics, it might be Chinese culture, it might be travel stuff. He does travel quite extensively around China, so there's plenty of stuff he does. I've been watching him for a long time. Really, really like his stuff. Who do we have next down here? Harvey in China. I haven't seen much of him lately, actually. He's a young English guy living in, no, I can't remember where he's living. Young guy, sort of is a bit hit and miss with me. Sometimes I really like his stuff. Other times, just the way he presents, it's just not my cup of tea. He's a young guy. Young guys do things differently from us old guys, but he's, you know, very good at what he does. Next up, Barrett. Lee Barrett's another one I've been following for a long time. One of the first that I started following doing China stuff. I'm a bit hit and miss with Lee. He when he is doing the sort of travel stuff and showing where he's going, I really love him. Love his stuff. He also does political commentary, which I'm a bit less enthused about, and he does a lot of product stuff, which I'm a bit hit and miss with. I think largely that's actually nothing to do with him. I think that's largely to do with what he's showing. When he's doing product stuff, there's stuff that I'm really interested in. When I'm really interested in what he's talking about, I watch his videos because I love the stuff he does. But he also does a heap of stuff that, you know, I just don't care that much about. One that he did recently was a BYD collaboration with DJI. This car with a DJI drone that sits on the top of his car. It's bloody amazing. I really enjoyed that one. But yeah, he does what he does. Yeah, he's generally really good value. I actually, yeah, back in his early days, he was, as I was saying before, he was a lot more raw, which is what I like. As he's got bigger, you know, he's got a lot of subscribers. He's very popular. As he's got bigger, he's got more professional in his presentation, and I just don't. That just doesn't do it for me. Some people are going to love it. I know people who say, "Oh, he's much better now." I disagree. You know, it's just I like that raw style. So, as I say, each to his own. Next one, Guelo60. Is he Canadian or American? Actually, just thinking about his accent. No, I don't actually know where he's from. He was in China for a long time. He's since moved. He's now in the Philippines, so I haven't really been watching much of his stuff. I'm not really interested in the Philippines, but he is heading back to China soon. So hopefully he's got more China videos coming up really soon. Because yeah, he was all right. He could be quite entertaining. Trip Bitten. He was in China. He's since moved. Where's he moved to? I think he moved to Portugal, but still does China-related content from Portugal. I do like his stuff. He's very good. Right, who we got next? Nathan Rich. Nathan Rich, American guy, does a lot of debunking stuff, but he also does a lot of Chinese history stuff. He's actually got a book coming out soon. Actually, I'm not sure if it's coming out soon. He's writing it at the moment on one of the Japanese army units, Unit 761 or something. It was a unit that did a lot of medical experimentation, I believe, within China in World War II. Pretty horrific organization. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that book coming up. He does a lot of, he has done a lot of history stuff around China as well. Yeah, American guy, really like his stuff. Went very quiet for a while, but he seems, you know, as with whoever I mentioned earlier, he seems to be getting back into things now. So, which is good, because he does a great job. Next one we have is Because I'm Lizzie. She is a South African girl. She is living, where is she living? I'm not actually sure where in China she is. I can't remember off the top of my head. She's another one, a bit hit and miss for me. When she's doing the walking around, travel stuff, looking around the place, I really enjoy her content. When she is trying to do political commentary and stuff, she just doesn't click with me for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why, but yeah, there's people I prefer to see doing that sort of content. So I don't tend to follow much of that, but when she's doing the travel stuff and showing you around, I love what she does. She does a really good job of it. Next down the list, we have Cyrus Jansen. Cyrus did live in China for a long time. He's since moved back, I think he's in Las Vegas now. A lot of political stuff, but sort of focusing more on the financial sort of side of things, maybe more than the straight political stuff. Again, I've been watching him for a long time. When he was in China, he did a lot more interesting stuff. I think some of what he does now, I sort of go, oh, I don't really care. But it is all still China related. You know, it's just nothing wrong with his stuff and what he talks about. It's just not my cup of tea. But well worth having a look at. Who else do we have here? Blondie in China. She is, if I remember correctly, she is an Australian girl, travels around doing videos about food in China. I don't really watch her content. I'm not really much of a food buff. I don't really know why I'm subscribed to her, but I like to support the other YouTubers, and being a fellow Aussie, good on you. Yeah, it's not my type of content, but if you're into discovering food and learning about food and all that sort of stuff, she'd be right up your street. She does do a really good job at what she does. It's just not my thing. Next down the list, we have living in China, Jason. English, I think. Does a lot of stuff sort of comparing America and China and just basically bragging on how good China is. He can be amusing. He also can, for me, be off-putting sometimes in the way he does his videos. Not to say there's anything, you know, as I said before, not to say there's anything wrong with the way he does his videos. Just he's not always my cup of tea. But when I'm in the right mood, I love his stuff. When I'm in that sort of silly mood, yeah, he does, and he does a good job. He's got plenty of subscribers and stuff. I enjoy his things. Who else have we got down here? There are a few here that I don't really remember who they are. They're people who don't post terribly much. We're going to skip past them. Right, the last one in this page we're going to talk about is King Kwesi, the Kwesi, Kwesi. He is an African fella. I've been watching him for a while. Actually, he's gone really quiet lately. I don't know if he's still in China or if he's moved on or if he's just not making videos. But he used to do a lot of stuff. It'd be worth going back and looking back through his content. He used to do a lot of stuff interviewing other foreigners in China, whether they're visiting China or living in China. He would go and interview others and just that was really interesting because you get perspectives on things from people who are from different backgrounds, from different cultures, and it just gives them a different outlook on the things that they see. You know, the same as I was saying about myself and Tony, you know, we both live in the same place. We often make videos about the same things, but we're going to have slightly different views on what we're talking about, you know, because of different backgrounds and different ages and whatever other differences we have. Okay, we've moved over to our second channel. Well, it's actually my first channel. It's a channel I had before I started doing videos. So the A Scott in China channel is basically for making videos about this. My other channel, which is just Scott Ewan, I think, is simply for my personal stuff. Not that it's anything that's hidden, but it's just stuff that doesn't belong on that secondary channel. Yeah, it might be if I go out and play in a bar, I'll post a couple of tracks, post a couple of videos of me playing music or doing juggling stuff or whatever. Yeah, it's just my personal stuff. So yeah, don't go looking to follow me. So this is a channel I started off with in China. I created the new channel. I'm slowly moving all of my subscriptions over to there, but I haven't quite finished yet. So in here we have a number of extras. So we have Let's Talk About It, which is Lee Barrett again, but it's more political discussion about various issues going on around the place. I don't know that he posts a whole lot there. Okay, we've already talked about them. I don't think there's going to be many here. A lot of what I watch on this channel is more non-China stuff. So we watch things like AFL, cricket, juggling stuff, music stuff. I don't know that there's much in the way of China stuff left on here. Tommy Emmanuel, the Thamesmen, Victoria, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Fernando, we've already talked about Fernando. Slow-mo guys, Daniel Dumbrill. Is there anyone that I've forgotten? No, this is looking like we've pretty much covered everything by the look of it. No, that looks like, okay, looks like I have managed to get all of my China content translated over. So yeah, that's a list for you. Like I say, not everybody is going to be your cup of tea. Not everybody that I like, you're going to like, in the same way that not everybody you like, I'm going to like. But have a look through some of them, see what you think of their content. Go and support these people. Some of them, yeah, do really, really good stuff. Some of them are very professional. Some of them are very raw. It's a matter of finding the stuff that you enjoy and what hits the spot for you. But yeah, it's good to go and support these people. Even subscribe to them, even if you don't watch their stuff very often. You know, there's people like Blondie in China who I don't really watch because she just doesn't do stuff that I'm interested in, but I still subscribe to her, try and give her some support. And like I said, if you know people, if you know other channels that are worth looking at, that list is by no means comprehensive. There's many, many more people out there who I don't follow, who, you know, people, you know, if they do good stuff, publicize them, chuck them down there in the comment section. Let other people know, because that's how we all expand our knowledge base. And yeah, there's many that I don't know yet. There's many that I haven't come across, I'm sure. I hear people talk about other vloggers and I go, oh, I've never even heard of that person. So there's plenty of them out there. Go and support those that you enjoy. Yeah, and hopefully this list, you know, hopefully, who was it? Violet 888. Hopefully this has answered, given you something to look at. And yeah, if you know others who haven't been mentioned here, chuck them down the bottom. I know you watch Daniel Dumbrill because you mentioned him in the comment. You know, he's a great creator. But for now, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else we should cover. There was a comment that came up in the video that I did think about mentioning, but we're not. We're actually going to go back. We're going to do another video on the comments from the last video because there's stacks of them and some people have made some really good comments with really good points that should be shared with a wider audience. And one person has made a comment that should be shared with a wider audience just to show the level of stupidity that some people have. yeah, we'll talk about that one when we make that video. But for now, we're going to call it quits there. So if you've enjoyed this, hit that like button, share with friends, subscribe to the channel, go and check some of these other people out. Like I say, they will be down in the video description, links to all the channels. Questions, comments, or other channels that I might not have mentioned, down there in the comment section. Let people know, share your thoughts. And if there's anything you would like to know about life here in China, in Guangdong, especially here in Jiaqing, again, down there in the comments, let us know. If you come up with an idea for a video, we'll go away, do the research, make you a video. You know, while I enjoy going out and just filming what I see in day-to-day life and all sorts of things like that, it's also nice when you can actually, well, when I can make a video and actually answer somebody's questions and help people learn and expand their knowledge. So if you've got things that you want to know about, hit us up down there in the comment section. I will try and get back to you. We've got a couple of suggestions that I'm working on at the moment, but the research is hard and slow, but we're getting there. But for now, I'm going to go and get ready, head off to this kindergarten. So for now, thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe, and we will see you all in the next one. Cheers.